My name is Dmitry Liapitch. I'm from the Rochester Institute of Technology, and it is an honor to give this presentation the day after Earth Day. Because after all, billions of batteries end up in the landfill each year. And I mean, many of these batteries do end up getting recycled, but it still takes a lot of energy to manufacture those batteries, not to mention recharge them. And it takes a lot of energy to manufacture them and recharge them, and if statistically speaking, if your energy is coming from the US, it's going to be from burning fossil fuels. And fossil fuels contribute to the emission of greenhouse gases. But even if we were to use emission-free energy to charge and manufacture batteries, we still have to recharge them once the batteries die. Not to mention get rid of their battery waste. And just think about all the wireless electronics that we have. Why do we need batteries when we can be using energy harvesters to supplement the energy in our battery? Energy harvesters like photovoltaics, and photovoltaics like solar panels, which generate energy from the light, photons, and convert to electricity, volts. But what happens when you take a solar panel and you bring it indoors? There's still plenty of light in here, but solar panels were never designed to work indoors. They're designed to work off of direct solar radiation. Good luck trying to charge a battery with a solar panel indoors without any direct solar radiation. So our team from the Rochester Institute of Technology took action to solve this issue, which led us to develop Ambient PV, your indoor photovoltaic solution. Ambient PV was designed from the start to take advantage of indoor lighting from fluorescent and LED lights to extend the battery life of your electronics or power them directly. We also have the ability to print our material and customize its shape to maximize energy collection, unlike most solar cells, which are on a rigid glass structure. So just think about all the wireless electronics that we have that are currently being used for batteries. Like this clicker, for example. If this was powered with ambient PV, it could be trickle charging throughout the entire time and, decreasing the chances of it failing during a professional presentation. What about your cell phone? Imagine if your cell phone was covered with ambient PV. It could be trickle charging and extending your battery life, and if you're indoors, it might even be able to boost your signal, which is great. Or what if you never had to charge your remote controller anymore because it'd be powered by the light that's in the room while it's hanging out and you're not watching TV? And now that LED TVs are out, you may actually be able to charge your remote controller from the light that's coming from your TV. That'd be pretty cool. The Internet of Things is a booming industry. It's expecting to deploy over 50 billion IoT devices by 2020. So you can imagine how many batteries are going to have to be installed in order to service these wireless IoT devices. Moreover, industrial IoT requires a 10-year minimum battery life, and most batteries only last 4 to 8 years. So ambient PV has the ability to extend that lifespan past that 10-year requirement, enabling industrial IoT, which are like sensors that are looking at the efficiency of a factory. And so we have the ability to get those sensors in the factories to make them more efficient by having the batteries last longer than 10 years, which, given the trajectory of the IoT industry, this would be great for the industrial IoT to be able to take advantage of the multi-trillion-dollar expanding IoT industry. And some companies are already using energy harvesters in their electronics to be able to extend their battery life, such as this flashometer application. You may recognize these in public restrooms, like in a university or an airport, and whether they're on a urinal or a toilet, they flush automatically. What you may not know is that these actually require batteries to power, and that when the batteries die, somebody has to go in and change them. So this is where ambient PV becomes a unique solution, because ambient PV not only performs 3 to 5 times better than silicon solar cells indoors, but we have the ability to print the whole exterior to therefore provide enough energy to power the unit whenever it's needed. So you no longer need batteries to power the device, as long as you're not peeing in the dark. So ambient PV reduces the need for batteries by reusing the ambient light around us using our recyclable photovoltaics. And we believe that the future of wireless electronics won't have to rely on batteries for power, because they'll be able to power themselves using innovative energy harvesting technology like ambient PV. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dmitry. Any questions from our judges? Danita?
Thanks, Dmitry. That was great.
Thank you.
I want to ask a question about this sort of longevity, and you talked about the 10 years that batteries should last. So iPhones come out, new iPhone comes out much faster than in a 10-year span. So I wonder how your proposed technology or your built technology deals with the constant change in electronics innovation and the speed with which that happens.
That's great, and I appreciate you bringing that question because I haven't been asked that one before. So the cool thing about ambient PV is our technology is actually fundamentally different than most photovoltaics. So we have the ability to recycle it. And so if your iPhone dies in 3 years, but it still has a functioning PV unit, they can just detach it and send it to be recycled or even be reused into another electronic. You're right, because most electronics are not intended to last more than 5, 6 years, right? Product obsolescence. But there are critical applications that require the batteries to be longer. So that's why the IoT industry is really attractive, and industrial IoT in particular, because that's where the demand is going, and that's where they need to have that longer battery life. And for something like your cell phone, it has a really large battery capacity, so it will allow it to extend the battery life, but likely not be able to eliminate the need for a battery for a cell phone. But things that use small units of power, no problem.